Aki's WCW nWo Revenge didn't have a career mode, it didn't have a GM mode, it didn't have customizable belts or Hell in a Cell matches or even cage matches. It only had 6 arenas. And on top of that, the SmackDown series, the eventual successor to Aki's well-renowned game engine, always had arguably the better graphics. So after all of these years, why are many still calling Revenge, along with Aki's WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy, the greatest wrestling games ever made? Because of Aki's attention to detail. What sets WCW nWo Revenge apart, broken down to its simplest possible form, is the ease of recreating what you saw every week on television. Wrestlers in Revenge feel accurately represented both visually and by their movesets. From Kevin Nash to Chris Kanyon, who, by the way, has his Mortis mask available as a costume. There's a surprisingly deep customization process available that could turn any of your favorite WCW legends into backyard wrestling legends, like Colton Fenner. Revenge came just before the barrage of WCW wrestlers jumped over to WWF, making it a who's who of future Hall of Famers, current Hall of Famers, and classic stables. Revenge's finishers, despite being executed on a 64-bit platform, looked and felt like their televised counterparts. This game had a fluidity in its game engine that was jarringly absent from the PlayStation SmackDown titles. Also, contrary to the SmackDown series, Revenge's running attacks weren't overpowered and the grappling wasn't dominated by reversals. There's no exaggeration in saying I've dumped hundreds of hours into this game. Yes, the jaded old wrestling fan who said this about WWE 2K15. Are you really gonna pick a special referee and a manager for your fucking match? Then you better be a New Legacy Inc., because I can't imagine what other acceptable excuse I could accept. Would do it all day in Revenge. Just daydreaming between matches that one day Aki would produce a WWE game. Oddly, after they did, it's Revenge that I look back upon most fondly. Well, there's no denying this is a nostalgic game, so is wrestling itself, which is why I spend $9.99 a month so WWE can repackage and retell me how Hulk Hogan was the third man, or how Goldberg blew Norman Smiley. However, no matter how many months I pay for WWE's network, it will never make Raven the WCW World Heavyweight Champion he should have been. Thank you, Revenge. Professional wrestling in the late 90s hit a creative and commercial peak that hadn't been seen before and certainly hasn't been seen since. It's incredibly apt that the Aki series of WCW and WWF titles were released during this time period. Professional wrestling deserved these games. The respective paths of sports entertainment, gaming, and my adolescence combined to perfectly define nostalgia. But don't let that stop WCW nWo Revenge from thriving on its own merits.
Sing the glory of the best girls in Danny's blood and all the Lord knows who.